See the Japanese boxer making his way, Ryota Murata from Japan. Very experienced. Has been to this show before. Back in 2007, the AIBA World Championships being held in Chicago. He boxed in the 75 kilogram weight class, where he lost to Sean Estrada of the United States, 17-12 in the second round. His opponent here is Esquiva Florentino Falcao from Brazil. 22-year-old. Falcao also a member of the World Series of Boxing Mexico City Guerreros. You see him there, ranked number 1, or excuse me, ranked number 19 in the first season with a record of 1-1. Falcao was last year's gold medalist at the Brazilian National Championships. Gallagher, Hushinev, Rizbayev, Pogo, and Poji, excuse me, and Tadic are the judges for this contest. Faith Madfua from France is the referee. And Ryota Murata, one to look out for in this contest. He's 25 years old. He's already eliminated the number 1 ranked Abos Atoev of Uzbekistan in the first round of this tournament, as well as number 8 ranked Darren O'Neill of Ireland on Tuesday in the round of 16. We also know Murata could punch. As seen earlier this year at the Jakarta President's Cup, he had 3 RSCs, also known as TKOs, perhaps to those more familiar with that term, in that tournament. And you see the speed of Falcao quite evident here. Again, boxing in the southpaw style. Again, another stylistic quagmire. Murata boxing in the orthodox style. Again, look for see the positioning, how when Murata comes forward, he tries to keep his left foot on the outside of Falcao's right foot, and that's actually what caused the trip right there to Murata. These boxers are well experienced. They've seen all styles getting to this level. They've boxed all types of styles. And now good work by Falcao. For being the slightly shorter boxer, Murata is giving away a disadvantage, or rather an advantage, excuse me. He's disadvantaging himself by choosing to fight inside with Falcao, who's clearly the faster boxer. Murata with longer arms. Haven't really seen any use of the jab yet by Murata, and yet he seems to be willing and comfortable to go to work on the inside and being quite effective, at least early on. Some little baby uppercuts, which is how a taller boxer will be able to score once a shorter boxer gets inside. Those uppercuts are a sneaky punch by a taller boxer that often catch the chin of the shorter boxer. And Murata continuing to press the action now as he stalks Falcao around the ring. Some good work bumping right and left. Switching, pivoting his weight is Murata, landing shots to the body of Falcao. It's a pretty close match through this first round. The scoring seems like it will be fairly even, at least thus far. Good defense by Murata as Falcao throws lefts and rights both blocked. There's a sneaky left hand by Falcao, which may have slipped through the high guard of Murata, but Murata very aggressive in there. In the waning seconds of the round will give much for the boxers to think about now. We'll await the score. We expect it to be close. And there's Murata catching his breath. Looks a little worn over there. May have punched himself out a little bit in the first round. You see him hyperventilating just a bit. Be well served to take deep breaths now. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And here we look at some action from the first round as Murata was able to break through the guard of Falcao. And there's a nice bolo punch, not one you see that often here. It's a sort of a cross between an uppercut and a jab thrown by Falcao. Could only throw that punch from medium range, which is exactly where he was. And there's the score. After one round, it's all tied 4-4.
Second round.
Murata has been averaging throughout this tournament point decisions that saw him the 8-point victor. On the other hand, Falcao, guess, 8. So it's no surprise that while both of these boxers have been beating their opponents throughout this tournament by an average of 8, they're tied here at 4-4. Split the difference, and there's a big left hook to the body by Murata. Very crafty how he used his lateral movement and gets inside the guard of Falcao. Now Falcao, retreating just a bit, may need to rethink his game plan, because perhaps he thought trading with Murata would be a good move, an effective move. But so far, that seems to be where Murata wants to be. It's nice to see a big puncher from a taller man like Murata. It's not that often that the taller man is willing to punch his way through like that. They usually like to use their jabs and stay on the outside and control the pace, be the ring generals. In this case, Falcao can't even really do too much through the guard of Murata. And it looks like halfway through this second round, Murata may slowly be pulling away, if not in the points, perhaps in the emotional battle, in the battle of confidence. Chopping right hands by Murata, and down goes Falcao. He's pushed down, and the referee is going to let action resume. Look at that great defense by Murata. He's able to box inside against the smaller man because he's got a very educated double armbar defense. He's got his hands up high. See how when he comes in, he knows he's about to step into the danger zone, but he's completely undaunted. He keeps his guard tight, his elbows in, making him somewhat impenetrable to the flying fists of Esquiva, Florentino Falcao from Brazil. And this is the 2011 AIBA World Boxing Championships in Baku. And now Murata, having Falcao on the ropes and perhaps having taken a slight advantage here in the points through the second round, looking the more confident of the two boxers. And Murata continuing to charge ahead and dictate the pace of this bout. And it's not something that Falcao seems too comfortable with. Round number 2 is over. We will await the score from the judges at ringside. There's 5 of them. They count the punches dutifully throughout all 180 seconds of every round. Here's some action from that last round. You see that high, tight guard by Murata, and the Brazilian cannot seem to figure out how he's going to get inside. He needs to start using more lateral movement, and he needs to start bobbing and weaving his way in. As long as he keeps Murata off balance by continuing to move left and right, Murata will not be able to plant his feet and be able to land some of those bigger punches. The problem for him in that instance, and by the way, let's take a quick note here. The Japanese boxer, Murata, has indeed gone up 4 points now by a score of 12-8. So there's a brief pause here as the Brazilian boxer gets dried off by his corner. Murata patiently awaiting the beginning of this third round. It's the final round of the bout. Nice ripping right hand by Falcao to the body. He was able to get it around that elbow of Murata, and there it is again. Those can indeed be effective scoring punches if the judges deem so. They are landing with the proper part of the glove, the front, the knuckle part, cleanly to the body of Murata. But the hard-charging Murata continuing to stand in there and fight through. Now they'll clinch here up at the ropes, and the referee is going to center them again. And the Brazilian just very flustered. Murata's punches just keep flying like fists of fury. And they seem to be overwhelming the Brazilian, who'd sooner rather get away from that than stand toe-to-toe and engage. As we said earlier, Murata, a big puncher. He already has one RSC in this contest, and now a standing 8 count goes to Murata. The Brazilian trying to weather the punches of Murata, but the referee, always in the best interest of the safety and well-being of the boxer, is going to issue a standing 8 to the Brazilian. There's that big right hand while the Brazilian was up against the ropes, and the referee made the right call there. A minute and a half to go in this round. And now the Brazilian comes punching back. And there's a large Japanese contingency here in the complex, and every time the Japanese boxer Murata lands a scoring blow, even in that case where the Brazilian went down, you really hear it from the crowd, and it's only going to get louder in here as these semifinal bouts progress towards the finals tomorrow night. Over 500 boxers from over 100 countries started this tournament over a week ago. We're now down to just a handful, those select few that have, through hard work and dedication and good fortune, made it to the semifinal round. A nice uppercut by the Brazilian snaps back the head of Murata, but Murata, undaunted, continues to let his hands go. And there's another standing 8 count, and I got to imagine that if this round were to have more than 20 seconds left in it, it may not go the distance. The Brazilian is looking completely forlorn, and he's starting to wilt under the pressure, the tsunami that is Ryota Murata. That's it, folks. The Japanese man, Ryota Murata, lifts his hands in apparent victory. We'll get that official decision in just a moment. And there's the score, 24-11, a 13-point margin for Ryota Murata, who went up in the second and maintained that lead throughout the rest of the bout. Congratulations, you're going on to the finals, young Murata. And Esquiva Falcao, you grabbed yourself a bronze, well earned, good work. But only one man could win in a contest like this. The better man tonight, Ryota Murata. You could see from that last round's activities, Murata just the busier puncher, the smarter game plan. Instead of staying on the outside, he took it to the faster boxer in Falcao. And I think he just completely caught him off guard. The Brazilian wasn't expecting the pressure, and certainly perhaps wasn't prepared to handle the power of Murata. 2 standing 8 counts in that final round. One more, the bout would have been stopped anyhow, per the rules of AIBA, in contests such as these in the elite division.